Welcome back, everyone. This is Dave from the Korman Productions Deep Dive TV podcast and my co-host Stacie. And we got some special guests, two amazing comedians from the television show Revival Season 1. We got Nikki Payne, who plays Nurse Darlene Schultz in episode 6 and 8, and Liam McNamara, who plays Principal Krueger in episode 1 and 3. Welcome to the channel, guys. We're going to just kick it to you guys to introduce yourselves. Nikki Payne, why don't you go first?
Hi, my name's Nikki Payne. I'm a stand-up comic. I act on occasion when they let me, and I'm a stop-motion animation artist while learning to be a stop-motion animation artist.
Wow.
They still do that? Stop motion?
I do.
Okay. Okay, Principal Krueger, Liam, why don't you go next?
Hi, and Nikki's I follow her YouTube page, and everybody should, because she is getting really, really good. Hi, everybody. I'm Liam McNamara. I'm an actor, comedian, when they let me, which has really been the path I've been on for the last 3+ years since the pandemic ended. I'm also a brew shop, an independent contractor in that I run a family brew shop. We supply wine and beer and spirit supplies for the greater Moncton population here. We're called the Good Guys Brew Shop, and we keep everyone happily inebriated in the comfort and privacy of their own home for a much better price. Some assembly required.
Sounds good. I'm just actually kind of curious, have you guys ever met each other before?
I've been in the same room with Nikki.
Okay. We've been in the same room.
Yes, at Puff Puff Pass. I was there for a couple of your sort of just dipping your toe back in the water shows.
Yes.
But no, we've actually never. This is our first time officially. Hi, Nikki. Hi, it's good.
Hi, I'm aware of you. Everybody says like great things about you. So your reputation is strong out there in the comedy world.
Good.
And yeah, puff puff fast, because we're allowed to smoke weed here in Canada.
Sorry, it was puff puff laugh, I guess.
Puff puff laugh. Okay, that makes sense. But still, it was a weed store.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys aren't allowed in New England to partake.
I'm not totally sure. I think it's like
I'm pretty sure now.
it's like
Medical?
I mean, it's per state, depends.
Right.
Here in Connecticut,
Okay.
yes, I think so.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not totally even sure anymore, but
I don't smoke it, but I end up in a lot of the rooms because, people like to giggle when they smoke that stuff. So,
It's true.
yeah.
Yeah, so we knew you two wouldn't have met on this production because you each participated in a separate filming block.
Mm-hmm.
But we thought you two would be a great pairing as you're both stand-ups and you both play important kind of side characters. We got a nurse and a principal, these important people in the community. Yeah. So we're going to talk about Revival. And if anybody's watching who hasn't watched Revival, go check it out and then come back because we're going to talk about it. We don't want to spoil you. In the US, you can catch Revival on Sci-fi and Peacock, and in Canada on CTV and Crave. All 10 episodes are currently available for streaming. And as of when we're recording, we are awaiting an announcement about a potential season 2 renewal. So we're hopeful. Get hashtagging. Renew Revival S2 is the hashtag that's being used to try and tell the world we want another season.
all right, so I guess this is a good time to talk about the casting process, how you guys became involved in the show. Nikki, you want to go first?
It's so funny. I used to have a work permit, and I used to live down in Los Angeles, and I went out for lots of auditions for network shows. And my brother thinks it's hilarious that when I gave up and moved to like the far east coast of Canada, I ended up on an NBC show. A friend of mine was doing some of the casting for Revival, and she said, "Would you like to put your video fork?" And I was so busy. I actually sent them a TikTok that I had made and sent that in. So I was really, really not expecting to hear back from anybody at all, and they must have saw something they liked, and they got back to me.
All right, Liam.
Hi, I was Donna Ray Gibbs. Donna Ray is basically the pulse of New Brunswick casting. If there's anything that comes to New Brunswick, that's Anglophone anyway. Donna is basically the one that it goes through. So Donna reached out to me. I'd seen some of the casting notices on some social media, but Donna reached out to me and said there were some opportunities, which was really nice because again, New Brunswick since 2013 or so has been a bit of a ghost town for film and television. So it was nice to see a big production coming to town. Of course, like everybody else, I'm understanding now. I auditioned for Randy, which was incredible. What a character. And again, I think they perfectly cast Randy. But it was a great audition piece because it really let you take a big swing if you wanted to take a big swing. So I took a big swing. But I didn't resemble the physical character that they described at all. But anyway, I just wanted to get on camera, be seen, and then I got a second audition for the Anthony Check role, which again I really made a meal of that, and it took us another swing, but in a totally different direction with that. Still didn't book that part, but I'm guessing, and the feedback from Donna Ray was that they just saw something in me between the two very different auditions that they wanted to get a piece of me. They wanted to get a piece of me or give me a piece of the show for something. So I was really appreciative to get Principal Krueger.
I have a random question. What does your shirt say?
Oh, it says Funkle. I'm a fun uncle. It's a dictionary definition of a fun uncle. I'm a Funkle.
Okay.
I'm Funkle Liam.
Gotcha. I keep noticing it and trying to read it, and I'm like, I can't quite get there. All right. Okay, so yeah, Aaron and Luke specifically told us that they wanted to cast as many comedians as possible. How do you find your experience as a comedian helped you with your acting scenes on Revival? Nikki, you can answer first.
Yeah. Geez Louise. Well, I mean, I guess in the decisions that we made, like, you could tell by the script that it was like quirky, like it was scary, but like quirky and scary. So I just made the decision to react how I think a real nurse would react. Like, she's stressed out. Like, she's there's I know we're supposed to call them revivers, right? But there's freaking zombies in her hospital eating other nurses, like are attacking other nurses. And like my character started out as an intake nurse, and then she became the head nurse, but she became the head nurse because the head nurse got killed. So I was reacting as like just this overworked, stressed out woman that's trapped in a hospital. So she's not in a good mood.
Yeah, before we get to William's answer on that, it did bring up a point. We heard Principal Krueger's opinion of Revivers. We never really got an opinion from Darlene. So what do you think she would think of the whole Reviver situation? Whose side would she be on?
I think she's on Darlene's side. I think she just wants to survive this. She's Team Darlene the whole way. Like she just, like she cares. Like there's a side of her that does care about, like because she does give, the pterodactyl shot, even though that could get her fired, right? Like she does do the right thing. But I think, like, she is so stressed out that she's just like, I just don't want to be the next nurse that gets killed by one of these revivers. Right. I think from my point of view, I mean, I'm sure Tim and them have different views of Darlene, but that's sort of my take on it is that she is trying to survive her shift.
You know, it's funny. I hadn't ever thought of that, but yeah, Darlene would have obviously known Nurse Barrow, Tyler's mom, who died
Yeah,
at the hands of Arlene.
Hmm.
So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I
For
sort of went with like a COVID nurse, like how stressed out and under pressure nurses were during COVID, and then just sort of up the ante of like if COVID people were coming back to life and attacking us.
all right, Liam, back to the original question. How did you,
Hi.
yeah, the comedian question, like how that helped with your acting scenes in Revival?
Well, I've done most of my acting work has been more serious roles, but I've been on the stand-up comedy journey for the last 3 years, and I've done a lot of comedic plays, a lot of Norm Foster plays type of thing, and I feel like the better you are, and comedy is really literally harder to do. So if you can do comedy, you can really do more serious roles. And for the Principal Krueger role, like I've read all the comics. I hate to call them comics. I want to call it a graphic novel, but they are comics. I've read all the comics, and there is a real undertone of in the community of like a very libertarian, don't tread on me. The government is overreaching and we're not comfortable with this. And we're as a population that's trapped and in quarantine, we're not happy about what's going on here. And we're looking to our leaders to take, more responsibility or to step up in more substantial ways. And someone like a Principal Krueger, someone like the mayor, they're like community leaders who, in the book would be sort of like the spearheads of sort of a counter government movement that really wasn't touched on much in season one, but that's not saying that they couldn't develop that storyline in season two.
Right.
Interesting.
So you both got to share like really powerful, intense scenes with Melanie Scarfano. What was it like working with her? Liam, why don't you go first this time?
I had a little bit of I'm a fan of Letterkenny, so I loved her on Letterkenny. So I fanboyed out. I'll admit that on first day on set, I got her to sign my script as her Letterkenny character because I love that show. But it was just I really haven't seen anyone work quite like her before. And I mentioned to her at the end that it was really great to watch her work. It was so improvisational while being on point, but it was so loose. I was so natural. It was really great to see that and what she brought to the scene. Meanwhile, I'd made some choices, and I stuck to those choices. But seeing how she was sort of loose with things, that gave me the freedom because I don't know what, as a day player, you're walking in and you're not sure exactly how shooting's been going, how strict they are to script. So seeing her sort of encourage me to loosen things up a little bit and still stick to my points, but just be more comfortable with it. And but yeah, it was really great to work with her. But more importantly, it was great to just watch her work. I was in the gymnasium for a long scene. The scene in episode 1. They actually cut one of my lines from that scene, but I was in the gymnasium and just watching her work. That was a huge moving master of a scene, and there was like 5-6 pages of dialogue, and they were knocking it out. It was just super impressive, and yeah, she's awesome. No wonder they cast her to lead this show because she's a star.
Absolutely. Darlene?
Nikki?
I taught her either or. I taught her or I helped teach her how to cross stitch in between scenes. She was learning how to cross stitch, and I've done some embroidery and stuff. So I helped her figure that out a few times. She's a delight. I mean, the whole cast and crew. You can feel it when you're on a set where it's a labor of love, and it's just the energy, and that energy was 100% there. Like everybody, felt strong about the script, and her included, and yeah, just absolute wonderful delight to work with her.
Okay, so Liam,
Sure.
why exactly is the principal getting his blood drawn at the CDC in episode 1?
Well, the line that was cut from the episode was basically the camera's panning past me, and the line that I deliver is apparently terribly is I I just want to be sure I'm not one of them. So they're doing blood draw to test blood, because again, in the comics, there's a big undercurrent of, because again, M slips under the radar. So many of these revivers slip under the radar. So in the books, there was much more with the CDC testing everybody in the community. Like everyone needed to get their blood drawn at some point just to see, who was who.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if we mentioned this yet, but we also found out that in addition to being the nurse, Darlene is the captain of the bowling team.
I am.
Nikki,
am.
No, Okay, so she's the captain of the bowling team. Works with Brent, right? Brent's on the bowling team, so that's why that's important.
Yes.
Do you bowl? Did you draw from any personal experience in this, or?
I used to do 4 or what is it? 12, the smaller balls, the smaller ball bowling when I was a little kid. But that's
Blackpin bowling.
Yeah, that's it. And I've never really done the one where you got the, your 3 fingers in the hole, and that. I've done it like a couple of times, like on dates, and well, I'm still single, so.
I don't think your bowling abilities was the defining factor in that, but
I like to tell myself it was, but
they just weren't good enough for you.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I'm not a bowler, but I look darn cute in that bowling shirt and all the crazy earrings and rings that they had on me. Darlene really goes all out when she's not in her nursing uniform.
Was it always the plan that those were going to be the same character? Like, did you know going in about both scenes?
No. I went in and I was literally supposed to be the intake nurse. And I thought I only had 1 day. And they actually cut that scene out. That was from episode 2. And so that got cut out, and then suddenly I was Darlene. And then got some more days of work out of it. So go Darlene. And so yeah, I did not know about the bowling alley until I got asked to come back, and I think they just kept like wedging Darlene into different scenes. What are we gonna do for this? I don't know. Get Darlene, and so yeah. All of a sudden, I was back, and I was in a bowling outfit, and that was an important scene. Like I knew they weren't gonna cut that one out because it connects Brent to the whole underground situation.
Liam, I'm kind of curious. Your character, he's known to be anti-reviver.
Pro-human.
Pro-human, okay. Do you have to, do you take your character's side, or do you find yourself critical of your character when you're playing him, like in anything that you do? Do you basically agree with your character?
Kind of like if I hadn't read the material beforehand, it would be kind of a shallow grasping at straws. But like knowing what I know from the material, like yeah, he's just all about supporting the community of alive people, or like regular human people, and feeling like they, like, revivers are getting like a special treatment and becoming a special class, and meanwhile the rights of regular everyday good Americans are being trampled upon by the man. So there's a lot of that in the books, and I think that played, perfectly with Principal Krueger, and that they're under so much stress, because I mean, this wild thing has happened. There's a quarantine, no one's allowed in or out, but they're supposed to be trying to like go on like business as usual. Really, it's like it's really it's farcical in its own respect, in that we're really pretending like we're gonna do a regular school year here with dead people walking around, with Jordan in my classroom, and like it's just there's a frustration level, there's a fear, there's very definitely a fear, because we don't know what these revivers are capable of. I really actually wanted to call her an it in the scene, rather than I called her parents an hour ago. I called its parents an hour ago, and I can see his perspective. But I'm a bleeding heart liberal. I'm inclusive, so I'd give those revivers a big hug and welcome to the tent, y'all.
I mean, she's this little girl. She's what, like 60 pounds soaking wet? Do you think Principal Krueger is actually afraid of her?
No, but he should be. And actually, I was really surprised with how the season took the Jordan character, because of all the changes I found from the books, that was one of the biggest changes, because Jordan in the books makes it basically to the end, and her soul gets taken care of in a way by Dana, and she becomes incredibly vindictive and angry, and like she's blocked off from her soul, so she becomes like a real bad character later in the books. But they reunited her. I mean, I cried at that scene, and I want to say that Robbie did such a good job with his reaction to watching her be reunited with her soul. It was a beautiful scene, and they did it so well. But I really said that surprised me, because I was like, "Wow, no, what? No, this is okay. Okay, we're going in a different way." And I mean, you got to do that with this kind of material, just to give yourself options or places to go in the second season type of thing. But yeah, I don't know. Did that answer your question, Ramble?
I think it was a good answer, regardless.
Great.
So who that you didn't get a chance to share a scene with would you love an opportunity to work with in the future? Let's go with Nikki.
CM Punk.
Punk.
Yeah, but his character got killed, but who knows? Who knows?
I mean, there's always flashback chances, possibilities.
There's flashback chances. Yeah, I actually didn't know that he was in in the movie until I watched. I started watching the episodes, and then I'm a bit of a wrestling nerd, and so I kind of lost my mind. So probably for the best that I didn't know and that I didn't have any scenes with them, because I probably would have nerded out pretty hard.
Well, maybe Darlene is the boss, the mob boss.
Maybe.
We've been going through, we recorded our season wrap up this week, and we had our list of ridiculous options of who might be the mob boss that was the Czech brothers boss. Maybe it was Darlene.
Wow.
Could be.
When she's not bowling. I'd be a good mob boss. I would love that.
Liam, was there anyone that you would love to get a chance to work with that you didn't yet?
Stephen Ogg. I mean, no question, hands down. Trevor from GTA 5. Come on. I mean, plus I love his other work from The Walking Dead, and even his like couple episodes of Better Call Saul. I mean, the guy is just.
That's where I knew him from.
He's fantastic, and I was today's years old that I learned he's actually Canadian.
Oh,
he was born out west. So like that's incredible. And Peter Millard, I mean, he's again a Canadian icon, which I'd love to just I don't meet him, be in the same room. But yeah, either those two gentlemen. But I mean, Stephen Hogg. When I found out that Trevor from GTA was connected to this show, I was like, oh, okay, this show could be something now. But because he's so strong. Every character he brings to the table is just so. It's just the guy has electric energy in everything he does. So it's impressive. He's captivating. You can't take your eyes off.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Liam, why did
Yes.
Jordan and Cooper get in trouble and not the bullies?
Money,
Money?
rich. They had rich parents, man. Like,
Okay.
I got to I'm running for city councilor, and the parents are basically like backing my nomination, and they're fundraising for me. So, those jerky little kids just they get a slap on the wrist and say, "Hey, listen, don't do that while teachers are around, okay?"
So, actually, in my experience of, being back in school, I remember like people chucking papers at my head, and I would do nothing. I would do nothing. And then I would finally retaliate. The teacher never caught them the hundreds of times they were throwing things at me, but they always caught me 100% of the time. That's just how life works.
That's how Brad Marchand makes it in hockey.
So let's talk about the stuff that happened in the hospital a little bit, Nikki. We learned, obviously, that because Darlene and Brent are both on the bowling team together, they're probably pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
And the day that he died, you were working.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get to see this, but how do you think Darlene reacted when she saw him there with that TV on his head?
Yeah, I mean, and she was so proud of what a great member of the bowling team he, yeah. So I think I think she was devastated. Probably. I know that there was a scene. It was cut where I'm standing in the hallway talking to a police officer as he's being taken out of the room. And at that time, I didn't know that I was going to be on the bowling team with him. That hadn't been revealed to me yet. So I went as if, because, I'm not actually acting at that point. Well, I'm acting, but I don't have lines. I'm just in the background talking to this police officer. And I know as he went by, I was like devastated, but I kind of went like this and then kind of looked at him and said, I'm in a Zumba class with his mother. And so that's what I had made up in my mind. But in the end, that scene never happened anyway. But I think it sort of revealed that A, I did know him, and B, I was quite horrified. It doesn't seem like this town is huge. Like everybody does seem to know one another, and so. I feel like, again, her crankiness is probably a bit of a mask for just how genuinely terrifying this kind of situation would be for, just regular human beings that, one day their life was upended like this.
So Darlene at one point flipped out because people kept bringing Dana chocolates and such and threatened to retire. After this whole television on the skull thing, one of her best bowling buds, do you think she followed through on her retirement?
I had a whole backstory in my head that I wrote that none of the production, like none of the directors knew. I believe that she's been having an internet romance with a trucker. And her plan is to get out of nursing. It's killing her, and I think back in the back of my mind, she has this secret plan that when he comes by her town again, she's going to try to sneak out past the roadblocks and just get in that truck with that trucker and keep on going.
Sounds good.
Yeah. That's not in the books. That's here.
Is that your secret hope for yourself?
Well, you know what? I could jump in a truck with a trucker and ride off into the sunset for sure. For sure. But now I'm liking this mob boss kind of idea. So maybe I'll start manifesting towards that.
You heard it here first.
Liam, do you want to throw your Principal Krueger's hat in for mob boss as well?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. I mean, he would already be a natural skill set to, running multiple avenues of, people and, logistics and all that kind of stuff. So I think it'd be a natural skill set that would be a good hand and glove match. Yeah.
Speaking of which, I guess this has nothing to do with the question we just asked, but how do you think Principal Krueger reacted to the news of Jordan's disappearance?
With relief, I would imagine. Because again, that's just one thing, one extra thing off of his probably already wildly overflowing plates, and which I want to give a lot of credit to our educators, our principals, and more specifically our teachers, because what they are saddled with on a day-to-day basis is wild, and they're paid nothing for it almost. But yeah, it would just be one extra thing off his plate, one extra concern that he didn't have to be concerned about, one extra student that wasn't going to be causing a problem in his hallways, even though she wasn't the one causing the problems. It was those jerk-faced kids. But again, it just removes that variable from his school. And again, she seemed to be the only child in the books that was a reviver, which makes sense because a lot of children don't die so that often. So no, just relieved, and probably just wondering when she's going to be back. Like, when's the shoe going to drop, and when she'll be back? But when he first found out, that would be just one less thing, one little bit less stress.
What's your guys' favorite kind of donut? Since we got a lot of donuts in this story.
Boston cream.
That's mine too.
Yummy.
Apple fritter.
Oh, that's good too. Good choices.
Yeah.
My Dunkin' recently stopped carrying those.
The apple fritter?
Yeah, they don't carry them anymore.
Probably a Canadian tariff on apples or something.
Probably.
Okay, so we're gonna give you guys a scenario. Who do you think your characters would be most likely to follow? Blaine's group, Lester's whole thing, or the Czech brothers? And why? Whoever comes up with an answer first can go ahead and chime in.
I would definitely be in Blaine's camp for sure. Like, yeah, I don't think there's much of a question that Principal Krueger is trending in that direction. Again, they took Blaine in a different avenue in the series as well. But yeah, no, he's the organizer that the people are looking for, because he's outside of the system, and the system isn't doing anything for the regular people. Seemingly, they're paralyzed by red tape or bureaucracy or something. But Lester he's seeming to show results, but he's got a lot of bluster, as a lot of those type of folks do.
So I'm kind of curious as to your answer. Is that because of the religious angle of it, or because of he's like a man of action who's talking about actually doing something about the revivers?
More the man of action more than anything else, because people are feeling trapped in this quarantine, not able to see friends and family, and just feeling like they're under the boot of the man, and it's not their fault. They didn't do anything, but suddenly they're getting imposed upon. So yeah, that Blaine's a man of action, that Blaine offers a different avenue and a sort of a relief pressure valve for people to be able to be heard and vent in ways that, the mayor is not able to do it. The sheriff's not able to do it. The governor doesn't give a damn about things. So yeah, that's he'd definitely be he'd be in Blaine's camp for sure.
And because you want to work with Stephen Ogg.
Well, yeah. I mean, yes, 100%. Yes.
He's got some room, and most of his followers are gone now. So
Yep.
there's opening.
Fresh recruits.
Just be warned, the last batch didn't end well. So,
well, it'll be me and Vice Principal Voorhees that he'll bring to the camp.
Speaking of which, that brings up another question. Is there any relation to Freddy Krueger?
In the makeup chair, in the hair and makeup trailer, there was a fun little banter going around that his first name would be Frederick, and that this was actually, the whole series was going to be a series of prequels to the launch of the Freddy Krueger universe.
Well, that wouldn't be good for you, though. He wasn't a very great guy.
Listen, if Robert Englund could handle that role, I would take a shot at it.
Nikki, what do you think for Darlene? Would she be following Blaine, Lester, or the Czech brothers?
Oh, come on. It's the Czech brothers, of course. Right?
She wants to be the mob boss now.
Right? Right? Especially if I'm your secret boss. But even if I'm not, like, she's a rule breaker. She's done with, like, all this, like, nonsense. Like, she's had it up to here. Plus, she has, my secret plan of running away with the trucker.
They do know truckers. They're already on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They could get you out.
Yeah, she's a realist. She knows how the world works. She worked in emergency for 4 years, so she knows the rougher side of life. And she might be a mob boss, so who knows?
Here we go.
If we were talking about yourselves instead of your characters, would your answers be any different?
Probably Lester.
Lester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get scared and just follow Lester.
I'm so curious. I always want to find out what's happening tomorrow. I always want to wake up to see what happened between today and tomorrow and what happened yesterday. I always want to know. So I want to live as long as humanly possible. I always tell people, and this is a little dark, may have to be a warning. If anyone ever finds me dead and they think that it's suicide, it's not. Because I always want to wake up tomorrow. I've been killed and framed because I always want to wake up tomorrow and find out what happened. So I would definitely be in as a personal Liam McNamara, I'd be in Lester's camp. Let's try to live as long as possible.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind, Liam. So Nikki,
yeah.
Okay. Give us your best proposal for a storyline for Principal Krueger for season 2.
Oh. Okay.
I joined the bowling team.
The blood tests come back, and he is a reviver.
Oh.
Ooh.
All right.
So now
Liam.
I have to start advocating for those animals.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, cool. I'm down.
All right, Liam. Propose
Yes.
your best storyline for Darlene for season 2.
All right, guys. Now, this may be coming in a little bit hot and out of the blue, but Darlene, unbeknownst to everybody else, is really the mob boss controlling the Czech brothers and she's been the one who's given them the medical expertise and supplies and equipment to do all their dissections and amputations. So, I mean, it's literally the breadcrumbs lead back to Darlene.
So when that actually happens in season 2, we know where this idea originated from.
That's right.
All right.
It all happened here.
I think we're just about out of questions, but do you guys have any particular stories that you want to share about your time on the set? Anything interesting that you can think of?
This is one of those things where my sisters would be like, Liam, don't say that. Don't tell that story.
Liam, you tell that story.
They're not here. So again, day player, not really sure what the vibe is. I'm in transport with Melanie and I forget the actress's name who played opposite of Dr. Ibrahim. She was the second in command,
Jevons.
and then basically became the first. Anyway, I was in transfer with them, and I've been working on some new material. So I tried out of the blue one of my stand-up jokes that I was opening with at the time. Because again, how better to open a conversation than with an opener joke? Oh, it bombed. So they didn't. Well, again, they weren't expecting that. They didn't. I barely said a word to anybody because I was all like, "Oh my god, that's from Letterkenny." That's and well, the whole cast was like so many Letterkenny people were there. Anyway, I tried this opener joke that went. I lost my grandfather last week. Don't worry, I found him really fast. He was just in the next aisle over, but it's just the house slippers and those smooth Walmart floors. He can just get away so fast. But it was like that moment of, again, they're not expecting it. And I say earnestly, I lost my grandfather last week. And immediately any human being, I mean, your empathy is going to be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And then like just the shit-eating grin behind him. I found him real quick though. Don't worry. I was just kind of, and it just like, yeah, it didn't hit. Shall we say. So yeah, I had to go to lunch with that in the bottom of my stomach and be like, oh, that chicken looks great. But hey, I took a shot, tried to get a laugh, didn't work so well, but you know.
You got to take your shots.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Right?
Got to take your pterodactyl shots.
Yeah.
That's right.
I don't really have a funny story from set really, other than like I had lunch with the lovely lady that had the top of her head chopped off.
Darlene.
Yeah.
Actress's name, but
And she was in full makeup when we went to lunch together. And we had lunch with her, her brains out. And then I went. Fun. Yeah, and then I watched the first 2 episodes, and she's terrifying it. Like it's like I was not expecting it to be as scary as what it was. Like I knew it was horror, but I thought with the quirkiness, but it's scary. And like that little woman comes down from the rafters of the barn. She's like, I jumped, and I was like, why am I jumping? I had lunch with her.
Oh, that's funny. Was this at a restaurant, like in public?
No, but it was like we go to craft services, right? So she was like in full makeup with her, so I knew it wasn't real. Like, and yet I still jumped.
She should have gone out in public like that. You should have gone to a real restaurant.
Oh yeah. Go pick up some groceries.
All right, I think that takes care of our questions. But before we go, is there any projects or anything that you're involved in that you want to plug? Nikki, why don't you go first?
Check out my Instagram, my TikTok, YouTube. It's all Nikki Payne stop motion. And my weird little creations are all on there.
All right, Liam?
Yeah, please check out Nikki Payne's Instagram, her YouTube, her Facebook. She's doing a ton of stop motion, and it's freaking awesome. Myself, I'm just continuing to work on my 2025 set material. I'm trying to gig, hit a mic, a couple times a week. And I have a couple of film projects that are sort of in the ether that are coming together sometime 2026, 2027. One is a Second World War feature film. I shot a short film 2 years ago that's been playing some festivals, and it's been doing pretty well. And the writer-director of that is writing out now feature length, and says that she has another role in that for me. And then another friend of mine is looking to direct a a glass onion type of murder mystery, 8-handed with 8 actors, and he's asked me if I'd step into that role, but he's been delayed doing another project right now, so that may be 2027. But yeah, and fingers crossed for season 2, because who knows, Principal Krueger might be needed for something. I could be a henchman or a lackey for Nurse Darlene and her mob aspirations. Oh, and I just want to say, favorite scene of the whole series, I have to give credit to Mark Little, who I've been a fan of Mark Little ever since he was based out of Halifax with Picnic Face, doing amazing comedy stuff. But when that turned, because again, his character wasn't like that in the book, so that turn really surprised me. His look to his arm when it was bleeding, and when Dana realized that, and she realized that little look and that.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. And he was the most Wisconsin like guy on the set. But his turn from being, I'm going to be your best bud, to, okay, I'm just going to slide the TV over here, turn it on. Now I'm going to have to kill you. I loved that scene. I was laughing. I was excited. They did such a good action sequence. It was just great. And then Nurse Darlene came in and saved the friggin' day with the dinosaur shot.
The pterodactyl shot.
Pterodactyl shot, yeah. But that hands down, and for me in the whole series, that just tickled me excited. It was that was a fantastic scene.
It was a fantastic scene. We actually talked about how awesome that scene was in the podcast, and it's come up several times in the interviews, people citing that specific scene. So yeah, that was a pretty awesome scene.
Yeah. I knew Mark was very funny. I had no idea how good of an actor he is. You know, because, just that look told you everything. Like, that look was just like, oh, no. Like, it was just beautiful.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. Well, we'd like to thank you guys for joining us. It was a fun conversation. If you guys want to come back on the show anytime you want to, plug whatever projects you're working on or in the works or are currently about to air, feel free to reach out to us. We'll,
Thank you.
Happy to have you back on. Liam, that's short. What was the name of it?
Funkle. It's a Funkle shirt. I'm a fun uncle. Funkle.
The World War II short.
Oh, the World War II short. That was Death of a Spy.
Okay. It's actually kind of funny because a friend of mine was working on a short that was also related to the war that had William B. Davison. I was wondering if that was the same thing, but I guess not. But
no, different thing. But working with W.B. Davis would be fantastic.
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you guys. I want to say thank you guys for covering not just a revival series, but just Atlantic Canadian and Canadian content in general, because it doesn't get a big platform, doesn't have a lot of people shouting out the praise of it. So thank you guys for keeping your eye on us.
Thank you.
Thank you both so much.
And isn't this amazing? Like, you all have your podcast. Like, I mean, this is also new. Like, I mean, I know podcasts have been on, but the fact that that people that are just I am fans of filmmaking, I'm fans of TV. I want to we couldn't do this 20 years ago. And
Absolutely.
Now here we are all in our own homes in 2 different countries and we're just talking about stuff we love. What a great time to be alive.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. And we feel like we're dreaming all the time that we get to talk to lovely people such as yourselves and just like you said, talk about television. I mean, and then people want to hear us talk about it, which is crazy. Thank you both so much for hanging out with us today. Nikki Payne, Liam McNamara, everybody follow them. We'll put their links down in the video description. And keep watching Revival.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
And that was our conversation with Liam McNamara and Nikki Payne. And that was quite insightful on the part of both of them. I thought they had some good stuff to say.
Yeah, that was really fun. Even though they were just day players, they only had a few scenes. A lot of really great stuff in there to talk about the nuance with those characters.
Yeah,
and,
I mean,
how they are part of this whole community.
yeah, I mean, like Liam, he was in like that one scene and he had a lot to say about the politics of the situation and the psychology behind it. That was some pretty great stuff, I thought. And it was also a really fun time talking to the both of them, I thought.
It was.
Mhm.
They're both amazing people. Make sure you check out both of their socials. Again, all of that is going to be down in the video description below. And keep watching Revival. Hashtag renew Revival S2. Tag Sci-fi, Peacock, and NBCUniversal. And let's hope for season 2.
Yep, let's do it. All right, what you guys? We'd like to hear from you. What you guys think of this podcast? What do you think of this interview? Stacie can be reached at.
I can be reached on Twitter, X, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky at TV and Coupon Talk.
If you like this video and want to support the channel, the number of ways to do so, you can follow me on Twitter at Core Productions. You can join the Core Productions Facebook page. You can buy something from the Core Productions store on Zazzle. You can buy me a copy. You can join the Core Productions membership for 99 cents a month, starting at. And of course, you can like, share, and comment on this video as well as subscribe to the channel. This is Dave and Stacie from Core Productions, signing off.